Alrighties, ladies and gents, we are back with Dark Souls 1, and today, as the title and thumbnail would suggest, we are doing halberds. These are commonly considered to be the best weapons in the game, mostly because two of them, in particular, are absolutely busted, and then the rest are not bad, but definitely not to the same level as the other two. I'm gonna go ahead and do warrior as my class because, to be honest, the stat scaling is pretty underwhelming with this weapon class, aside from like one or two. Most of them aren't gonna be going above like a low C maybe, and even then it's only with like dex. Here, let's go ahead and name our character before I start just yapping about shit. Let's do halberd boy. There we are. Okay, so basically this weapon class is a little odd if you have not seen or used any of these before. So basically in this game, there is no scythe class, so this is actually going to effectively be a scythe run as well. Granted, there's only two of them, I believe, and one of them's a boss weapon, but the other, the Great Scythe, is actually known to be the best weapon in the game, or maybe tied with it with another halberd later on. And on another note, if you recall last time I had an issue with my frame rate that didn't really come through on the recording. Like on the recording it looked fine, but on my end it looked like maybe like 30 FPS. And I think I fixed it. I think what was wrong was I was playing the game in borderless full screen, which for some reason looks really choppy, and I don't know why. I don't know if one of my mods are making it do that. I got no clue. So I just put it in normal full screen and it works. That's good for me. And another little quirk with halberds that we'll see later on is they have a bit of a mechanic where if you miss your hit, you kind of do a stagger animation. So they really do incentivize accuracy over spam, which is interesting because they're a very like spammy type weapon, if that makes sense. Oh god, I'm not used to the 4-directional rolling. You gotta give me a second. Yeah, it's looking very smooth now, so at least I should be playing a little bit better. Now, I figured I would do another DS1 run, even though I wasn't too sure how many of these I was even going to do, just because I've done one run of, in order, Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring, and then Dark Souls 1, and I felt like I should kind of give each of those runs like a remaster, basically, just using everything I've learned, like editing wise and commentary wise. I kind of wanted to give it another shot since I'm just generally better at what I do now. And we're actually going to level dex because we can just two-hand it to meet strength requirements. Okay, so this is where it gets kind of interesting. This game is very open world, and we have the master key, obviously, so we can kind of go to a lot of different places to try to get these weapons early. But I think for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna go for the first halberd that's just called halberd, like the sake of like a natural feeling progression. So it's gonna be like a little bit of a second before we can grab it, just so you know, but we could have gone to catacombs and gotten the Great Scythe and the Lucerne, I believe you would pronounce it. So we're going around. We're going all the way to Valley of Drakes. This is all so I can skip the Taurus Demon and we can just go straight to Andre, because it's kind of near that general region. I also wanted another shot at this game because I feel like last time I was bitching a lot about the game in its like somewhat dated feel in terms of like gameplay. Ouch. I kind of just want a do-over because I didn't mean to sound so negative, but that's kind of what it came across as just while I was working on it. I felt very self-conscious. Like, people are gonna think I hate this game. Like, I love this game. It is truly one of the best of all time. It was just while recording that didn't really come across very well. Now, we do actually have a chance of getting a weapon that we need, which is also considered to be the other best weapon in the game, and that would be the Black Knight Halberd. But I'm actually not going to try to get it because it's only a 20% drop rate, and I would like to raise our item discovery a little bit before going for attempts. So we're actually not going to kill this guy right here. We are going to run past him and try to fight him later. I think I actually got it on my last run. Like in my last like 2 or 3 runs, actually. Like I noticed I got very lucky with like Black Knight drops, and I don't want to waste all my luck, you know? I feel like I already did waste my luck. Like I can't go for it now. I also came to a conclusion that I do not think I will do one of this series specifically with Dark Souls 2. I believe I'm not really good enough to do a using every weapon with that game because it's very complicated with that game. There are a lot of weapons that are exclusive to New Game Plus runs. There's a lot of weapons that it's just very complicated. Like I don't know how else to describe it. There's a lot of Covenant rewards. I don't really have like a cheat mod in that game, so I don't know how I would necessarily like get a lot of them. There's just a lot of weapons in that game. Like that game has like twice the amount of, what was it, scythes that like Elden Ring does or something. Like a crazy amount. And I'm just not good enough at the game to where it would be like a fun watch for people, I think. So I think if anything, I would either like just need to like make a different kind of video on that, or I was thinking maybe I could even just live stream a casual playthrough if you really want to see like my more in-depth thoughts about that game, because I'd be down to talk about it. And I have a lot to say, positive and negative, about DS2. I'm very much not black and white with that game. I can go over the weapon list one more time. It's just not very, I couldn't really find one that felt doable. There were a lot of weapons that said they were like pre-order bonuses, but you could get them through other means. I'm just not sure. Oh, right. In terms of mods that I am using, the most prominent is going to be the warp to any bonfire mod. That's gonna be pretty self-explanatory. From the get-go, I have access to warping. I don't have the Lord Vessel or anything, but I can warp. And it is also to and from every bonfire in the game. So it's not going to have that restriction where you can only warp to certain bonfires, but you can warp from every bonfire, and it's kind of strange. I'm not going to be held by that restriction. It kind of similar to my mod that increases Torrent's movement speed in Elden Ring. That's more so just for my sake, as opposed to making the run easier. Like, is it gonna save me a few deaths just from like random mob encounters? I'm sure. To me, it's a pretty fair trade. And there we go, the halberd, the first one. It's just crazy with how open this game is. I have not paused the recording yet so far, and I've been playing for 15 and a half minutes, and I've already just done what my first playthrough took multiple hours to do, simply because I know a better route, and I have not like fought any enemies really. I kind of want to wait to show the moveset until we can use one-handed, just because it's just not gonna work, you know, as you can see. But you know what, we'll at least show off the two-handed. So this weapon, I love halberds in this game for the simple reason of they are so versatile with their moveset. I said that in my last video that I did about how my favorite thing about a lot of these weapons were movesets, and really this one exceeds the most. This is going to be kind of an awkward showcase because you do stumble if you don't actually hit a target with this, but for a standard two-handed R1, it's going to be a poke, and I do have that stagger. That's just because I can't really use this properly in a showcase. And then my heavy attack is a giant spin, which is very good for cleaning out huge crowds. Specifically, I found a lot of good use for this in that room with a bunch of hollows with that mage right before bell gargoyles. Stuff like that. This is going to exceed very well. Or if you're like surrounded by those death blight frog dudes, that's pretty good. A big slash coming out of a roll. Very nice. And then a big overhead slash coming out of a backstep, which can be very good. And then a big jump slash for your jump attack there. Very nice. So I think now that we have this, we can go ahead and just take like the normal game progression route, and we'll just wait to grab other halberds until a little bit later. Wow, okay. That's certainly a way to do it. Oh damn. Let's not die to these guys, please. Yeah, I love halberds, not even because they're like considered to be the best, although I guess my reasons could be the reasons people consider them the best. I don't know. I just love the variety in moveset with different damage types. I think it is the most important aspect of a weapon that I feel like not a ton of people usually pay that much attention to. The ability to choose between like slash, standard, pierce, you know, all of these different weapon types, I think is very strong and an underrated aspect for a lot of these things. I learned a little fun fact the other day. As you can see, there are no enemies through that window. There's absolutely nobody in there, which is true. There is nobody in there. But if you walk forward, it just spawns an enemy. So you can come here to ambush you when you walk past. The game just straight up cheats. And it's kind of weird that they do that. They could have just not had a window there and then just had the enemy sit there, but they actively have to like deceive you. And I would like to make a promise this time. Before I was very short with this game, and I was very frustrated just because of real life aspects that were stressing me out at the time. I would like to promise that I will fight every single boss. I feel bad. Pretty much immediately after I finished my run that I skipped a few bosses. Specifically like Kalameet. That's the big one. I should have definitely fought that dragon. That is my bad. And this weapon has the kick. Oh my god. We're so back. We're so back. Oh. Man, I never thought I would miss the kick so much. These early game hollows with their shields are so annoying, and it is so fun just kicking them to just delete that from their strategy. I really can't get Dark Souls 2 out of my head. I really want to find a way to make that work for this channel, because I do have a lot to say about that game. But that being said, if you are aware of a weapon class that you would like me to look into that you think could be somewhat doable for someone that is both kind of ass at these games and also just kind of easy to get to, please let me know. My biggest issue with all this is a lot of the weapons are just really hard to get to. The way that you get them just kind of sucks, either through Covenant or New Game Plus or like just a ton of boss weapons. Like I just kind of want a weapon class with like a maximum of like 15 weapons in it, and you could probably get like at least one or two of those weapons pretty early on into a playthrough, because there were some that like the first ones you got were like ridiculously far into the game. I think it was Twin Blades maybe that I was looking into. It would also be cool if it's a weapon type I haven't looked at yet. That would also be preferable. I think I was kind of close to like genuinely considering fist weapons, since you can get the first one just from that first merchant that's in that game. I forgot to use my pine resin. The only downside with the standard light attack with this is big bosses like this, when you lock on, a lot of the times you just hit in between their legs. So I would recommend doing a lot of like running R1s for that big overhead slash that you do. That is a very great counter and is going to come very much in handy with dragon fights. I say that like this game has a ton of dragon fights, basically just for Kalameet. It's like the only dragon in this game. I also wouldn't be opposed, well actually, I would actually like to branch out to some other games as well, because if you are a long time viewer here, you would know just from my first video, I didn't really expect this to go anywhere, and I didn't think anyone was going to view this. This was more so just going to be like a personal diary, basically. I don't know. I think about streaming and like how that could be cool, but I just get very nervous. I'm not a great people person. Okay, huge proc there. God damn. Oh, now I gotta go back for my souls. Damn it. Oh, maybe I could live stream some like Minecraft or something. Man, I saw a mod that restored this shortcut from the game. You can kind of see behind that the staircase here. There used to be a tunnel that went through here that would lead all the way to Firelink Shrine, but I guess it was just cut because it was kind of unnecessary since there's a shortcut right here, which is longer, but like, come on, it's just so cool. And there was also a shortcut in Firelink that led to Blighttown. That was an elevator. I think it's kind of where near Patches sits when he's in Firelink, if I remember correctly. Like, once you know about it, you can definitely see it. Like, you can see where it would have been, how it almost feels like something's missing now. And to be honest, I kind of forgot, but I was gonna actually install those because it looked really cool. Oh man, and the one, the shortcut that was gonna be for Capra Demon is extra cool, just because it kind of explains why the one dude that has the Ring of Favor, why he's just leaning against that cliff right there. It's because that's where the bridge was gonna be. Like, he's not actually supposed to be leaning against, like, nothing. He was just gonna be underneath a bridge, which makes so much more sense. Okay, we should be able to show off the one-hand moveset now. So for one hand, it's gonna be pokes and a kind of half slash. So kind of just worse than the two-hand moveset, but yeah, the guy's usually leaning just off the cliff here. And this was just going to go straight into a room back there. And the room is still there. It's just unused. Like, they just kind of blocked it off with the wall on that cliff over there. But it was just going to be a bridge. Because right behind that wall is where we just came from, where Capra Demon is. It's a really cool shortcut. And the other shortcut was somewhere around here, I believe. Yeah, it was right here. Because, like, otherwise, this seems really random, right? But this actually leads directly into Blighttown down there, and it would line up pretty perfectly with another ledge that would make sense. And I just love stuff like that. Just cut content from games I find so interesting. I think for now, we could probably just go ahead and do gargoyles. Now, the gargoyles is going to be a little strange because they have a chance to drop our next weapon. And I believe we could be locked out of it, actually, if we don't get lucky enough. But there is sort of a cheese with it, to where, since there's two gargoyles, you just kill one of them, and if they don't drop it, you just quit out of the game and then try again, because it'll respawn both of them for the boss fight. Now, we are going to have one boss weapon in this playthrough, which is about as much as I can stomach. I don't like boss weapons in this game. Like, how you obtain them, I think, is kind of silly. But in this case, we do actually need to get this halberd here to a +10 in order to use it, because we have to trade in a +10 halberd in order to get the weapon, which doesn't even make sense because the boss weapon is a scythe. So why do you have to get the halberd to +10? Wouldn't it make sense to get the scythe, like the great scythe, to +10, and then you transform it into the Life Hunt Scythe? This game is so strange. And those Titanite demons, like the one through there, they also are going to drop a weapon for us. And I would really like to get it sooner rather than later, just because those things suck to kill. And I really don't want to go to the bottom of Sen's Fortress for a bunch of those. And if we don't get it there, we have to wait all the way till Lost Izalith to get the bugged, infinitely respawning guy just to do that, which is just such a bummer, because that run back sucks. Oh, and he just jumps off and kills himself. Okay. Well, I don't think he actually killed himself, but he did jump. Wow, and I just got two-shot. That's what happens when we don't wear armor. I'd like to do a Bloodborne run at some point, but the problem is I've only played Bloodborne twice, and I've never fought, like, every boss in that game. And also, weapon types aren't really a thing in that game. And then my favorite non-FromSoft Souls game is Lies of P. I actually really like that game, but unfortunately, weapon types aren't really a thing in that game either. It's very Bloodborne-esque with its take on weapons. So I'd still have to figure out something for those games. And then I don't like Sekiro, like, at all. I just don't vibe with the style of combat in that game, so I wouldn't do anything for that. And then I haven't actually played Demon Souls. I don't have a PS3 or a PS5, so that kind of hinders my ability to do that. Okay, so the goal here is I'm gonna try to cut off his tail. Oh, just like that in one hit. Okay. Look how much damage I'm doing, first of all. This is stupid. I believe cutting off his tail, like, reduces the loot pool. Okay, well, that's a way to go. Bro, I dodged it. There's no way. Get out of here with that shit, man. Absolutely not. Okay, I didn't even see your ass, bro. Oh, you do get the tail back. I thought you, like, lost it permanently. No matter. It's a one-shot anyway. I am not... Wait... Okay. Do we get it? No, we don't. So we just quit game, and we're gonna do that until we get it. I need to heal. That's not gonna happen. I had a mod at some point that changed the rolling to like a more modern rolling, where medium rolling is like a modern medium roll. So it's basically like a fast roll in this game. And it felt so much better. And then like a light roll was like a bloodborne dodge. It did kind of feel like straight up just cheating though, because it made the game so much easier. But like, it's making it easier by just making it like the new games. So is it like really cheating? Shit's like having an EXP share in an old Pokemon game, you know? Like, is it cheating? Yeah, but like that's just how it is now. Like, we as a society have determined that EXP shares are a good thing. Maybe I just need to kill the fire one, because that guy is fucking annoying. All right, do we get it? We do not. Okay. Maybe I go all the way to the tree to get the stamina ring. I mean, I guess I could throw on the stamina shield. That would help. I really need to lock on because getting some of these pokes without it is very difficult, actually. But the 4 directional dodging is so bad. Gargoyle helmet. That's not what I'm looking for, but I'll take it. Little in the way of defense can be expected from it. It is exclusively better than mine, aside from thrust. Is that just a dig towards me? I find that offensive. I will wear it though. I am the gargoyle. Come on, baby, give it to me. Yeah, gargoyle halberd and another gargoyle helm. Well, now I just need to clutch the fuck up. So give me a moment. There we go. And the mod does give me a bonfire here, so that's very convenient for me. Okay, so here is the Gargoyle's halberd. Now, if you'll notice, when I take it out, it shows that I have like poison, toxic, and bleed. That's actually me gaining a resistance to those. That's actually making the bar bigger whenever I have it equipped. You'll also see I have that buff in the top left of my screen that looks like a shield whenever I equip it. So this weapon does actually give us a little bit of resistance. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Just to be cute, you know, just to help it stand out from the others. Okay, so for two-handed, we got the overhead as the R1 chain there. It goes overhead, then a slash, and then an overhead, which I actually really like. I think the overhead method is very good. And then the big spin, the R2, and then coming out of a dodge, we get a little slash. Out of a back step, we get the overhead slash, and then our running attack. Jump attacks, another slash like that. And then for one-handed, we have the same kind of moveset there. And another kind of half slash there. The only thing this thing lacks is the poke attack, which is very unfortunate, as I think that is a very good thing for halberds to have. Now, this does weigh exactly the same as the original halberd, so it looks like it might be heavier, but it's not. Whoops. Oh, I also did some mining off camera, if you catch my drift. So we now have this halberd, and the other one is leveled up as you can have them at this point in the game. It's like a +4 or +5 or something. And I had to level up the other one just because we need to transform it later on anyway. Yeah, look at that damage. That's fucked up. I need to not lock on. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm out here playing this game like I've never done it before. There we go. I like how it seems from, at least for now, that a lot of the halberds have different movesets. I really like that. I think that's a really fun way to kind of change the different weapons of that same weapon class, you know, even if it's not necessarily a different damage type, which is the case for this one. But I just think it's neat where it's like, oh, I mean, they both do slash damage, but this one attacks in a different way. Like, I actually really like that overhead attack we do with our light attack. That is very, very strong. Obviously great for hitting things above you, but I don't know. It's just fun to bonk things with a giant stick. And one-shot a giant rat. Oh yeah, also tragedy struck. My coffee maker stopped working. My life is meaningless now. I think honestly we'll probably keep our attacking stats here for now until we have to use Giant's Halberd and Black Knight Halberd. Those are the only ones that have like a super high strength requirement. So I think we'll just pump endurance. But up next on the chopping block is Gaping Dragon, which we did actually skip last time. All right, well, let's go fight Gaping Dragon. So I thought that this guy is the guy that does boss stuff with like boss weapons. I don't think he is, because last time we could do something with the Moonlight Butterfly weapon with Andre. I didn't think Andre did boss weapons, but I think how it works is that just different NPCs do different boss weapons. It's so confusing. I love Gaping Dragon's music. That's pretty decent damage for Gaping Dragon. He's very tanky. I love the mechanic of cutting off bosses' tails for weapons. It is so fun, and I'm so sad that it's not a thing in the modern games. I know you can cut off appendages in Dark Souls 2, but I don't know if you get like weapons from it like you do in this game. And there's like that one fight in Dark Souls 3 where you can cut off the boss's legs, like the Stray Demon that's on top of the swamp area. And I can't really think of any others from that game that let you do it. And I can't really think of any in Elden Ring. It is such a cool mechanic that they just dropped for whatever reason. Bonk. I love how his head wiggles when you hit him. It's so cute. Oh, ouch. That might be death for me. Yep, that sure is. God damn! He chops your ass. My camera's all weird. What the hell? I still don't think we're gonna go the correct way through Blighttown, though, to be honest. I think we're probably just gonna kill Gaping Dragon, get the key, and then ignore it, and then just take the back way through Blighttown. Like, look, I'll fight Gaping Dragon, but I'm not doing Blighttown. The game has allowed me to skip it. Let me skip it. Bonk. 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 I believe the amount of humanity you have also increases your luck stat, so we should probably get as much of that as we can as well, just for those very few luck drops that we need. I also love this guy's design. I would like you to not have a tail anymore. Can you please not have a tail anymore? That's such an annoying grab. Ugh. Can you tell I never usually fight this guy? Bonk. 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 I'm gonna try to cut off your tail first. This weapon kind of feels like it was made for this guy, though, with like that overhead attack. Bonk. Bonk. I don't know, I just think dismemberment as a mechanic is super fun. There we go. So I think now that we have a good amount of HP, now would be a good time to go into the catacombs. That just scared the shit out of me. I forgot that he sits there and snores after one bell. Oh my god. Oh man, that actually just made me jump. So I think you find these pretty soon into the catacombs. Like, you don't have to go super far, like not even as far as Pinwheel. I know where the Great Scythe is because I always take that shortcut into Pinwheel, but I will need to look around a little bit for the other one. And the Great Scythe is going to be like one of two weapons that it's even worth leveling. Or, sorry, worth leveling your stats, not leveling the weapon. Obviously, you level the weapon. But again, with halberds, it's kind of all about the weapon's base damage. The scaling is kind of shit, to be honest. I think it should be here? Yeah, there it is. Okay, it's cool. So yeah, they're both very easy to get. Okay. Down here, and then down here. So, boom, Great Scythe. And then I guess we'll just go ahead and hit the shortcut. I mean, why not? Oh, that's why not, because I'll just die. Okay, never mind. Alrighty, one lunch break later, and we do have our weapons leveled to what we would want. I went ahead and got all of the ones that we have, 2 + 5. So here you can kind of see the different damage that they would each do. The halberd and the lucerne are going to be tied pretty much, except the lucerne is a little bit lighter, which is pretty good. The gargoyle is going to be front running the damage, and then the great scythe does appear to do less damage, but its thing is that it does do bleed, so that is going to more than make up for the damage that we are missing. But before we get to the scythe, let's go ahead and do the lucerne. Here is the two-handed moveset. It's gonna be a big slam into the ground that has like a really cool particle effect, actually. It makes it feel very powerful. And then for a heavy, big spin, let's do jump, slash. Alrighty. Now that slam, I believe, is going to count as thrust damage. So that is pretty solid. And the same attack on gargoyles, the R1 that also does the overhead, I believe counts towards just standard damage. So I would give the edge to this attack right there. It appears to be slower, but it could be faster if you were actually hitting an enemy. I don't know yet. And then for our one-handed, same deal. Heavy attack. And jump attack. To be honest, I really like this moveset. I don't know if I prefer the normal halberd though, with just its thrust, because it is like, thrusting is so useful in this game with how many tight corridors you fight in like this. To not hit the wall as you swing like that is so good. But I can't deny the effectiveness, especially towards bosses, of the overhead swings. Of stuff like this. Just that overhead is so consistently good and is going to be amazing against Quelaag, who we're going to fight next. But before we do, let's go ahead and go over the Great Scythe. So this weapon looks pretty unassuming, and if you're new, you might wonder, how on earth is this thing that good? And I'll be honest, sports fans, it just is. Amazing attack chain with the overheads. With one-handed, a big slash that goes actually a lot further than you think it does. That wraps around to like almost your back with that heavy. And if I remember correctly, I think the hitbox on this thing is actually kind of busted. So that heavy attack is actually way bigger than it looks. That's gonna kill anything you're looking at. And two-handed. Very nice. And something I will say is I'm not moving forward there. I'm not pressing the stick at all. I'm going to press the R2. I do a little run forward before I slash. So that is automatically going to cover ground for you, which I think is very good for beginners, because I've seen like my roommates, for example, when they played Elden Ring, I noticed they would kind of whiff some attacks just because they weren't close enough. And this weapon already has such a long range that I feel like just missing isn't really going to happen. Also, sorry to my roommates when you watch this. You're cool. It's just something I noticed, okay? And then your jump attack, big slash. So this weapon doesn't have as much diversity as some of the other halberds, but as you're going to see, the damage this thing does is stupid. It primarily scales with dex, and unlike the other halberds, it actually has good scaling. Look at that. That's already a B. And it's a +5. The other ones, the highest is a C. And then poor Gargoyle stuck at a DD. So on paper, it's like, oh, this doesn't do very much damage. But you just gotta wait until you can level dex a little bit, and then it's gonna just be doing stupid damage, especially with bleed, which obviously isn't like Elden Ring bleed or anything crazy, but I mean, that's still free damage you're just getting for nothing. But look at the diversity. The halberd does regular and thrust damage. The Lucerne is just thrust. The Gargoyle is just regular, and the Great Scythe is just slash. Like, it's such a good, diverse weapon class, which is why I love it so much. There really is something for everybody with this weapon class. No matter what your playstyle is, you will find a weapon that you vibe with, which is very good. I'll have to use the Lucerne a little bit, but I think so far my favorites have actually been Gargoyle, and I've already used the Great Scythe. I can tell you that's already a top tier for me personally. It's also pretty light too, of 5 pounds as opposed to the 6 and 5.5. Anyway, let's go fight Quelaag. We're gonna go ahead and use the Lucerne just because I want to test those overhead attacks, which of course are going to be very good against her because of the fact that when you hit Quelaag's actual body, she staggers. So I bet you could probably stun lock her with this weapon. I imagine that wouldn't be like too big of an ask. So I just want to point something out real quick. I'm going to get the stamina ring. I had the recording paused just while I was grabbing that. So this is normally your running R1. Okay, like it takes a second to come out, and it does good damage, it has good range. This is what it looks like when you're in slow-moving swamp water. That shit instantly deploys. Like, it looks so stupid. But only if you're running. If you're just walking, it's the same. But the moment you run, bam! I thought my game was bugged for a minute, but I think that's just how this game works. Do I have something for poison? I have nothing to heal poison. That's lovely. I'm very interested to see how much damage we're gonna do. This could be a higher level. They're only at a +5 right now, but like that should be okay. I mean, that's not like crazy low or anything. Whoops. Okay, what the fuck? I was nowhere near that explosion. I was not... Okay. Now, Quelaag is a very tanky boss, so I probably should have upgraded, but it's not quite high enough to actually reach her up there. We are doing pretty solid damage for Quelaag, though. Not quite. Maybe if I do like a jump attack, it would be enough. Let's see. Whoops, that's not a jump attack. I don't think they would really do it because of the nudity, but I think this would be a fun fight to bring back in like a Night Rain sort of thing. I'd like to see how this boss would work in like a, I don't know, a game with a engine that works. My voice is just dying, and I do not know why. Boink. For reference, if we were using like the Black Knight halberd, she would have died in like 6 swings. That's just how busted that weapon is. I figured we'd go ahead and do Butterfly because I always forget about it. I just so happen to be marking stuff off on my notebook. If I don't do it right now, I'm gonna forget. Oh, this fight blows, by the way. Not doing a ranged build, just wait like a full actual minute for an attack window while this thing just does whatever it wants. All right, here we go. This is gonna be a 2 cycle, that sucks. We just barely don't do enough damage for it. Come on, no. If we used the scythe, we could have got it. I love how they only gave this guy like 2 attacks. I mean, it's pretty standard for the base game enemies to only have like 2 moves, but I still just find it funny. Like, how come basic hollows have more attacks than bosses? Like, who made that decision? Yeah, the torch guy? Yeah, we'll give him more moves than, you know, Asylum Demon or Taurus Demon or whatever. Here we go. Yay! Epic boss time. Yippee! Yippee! Boy, was that fun. Man, could you imagine? I know I said it last time, and I'm gonna say it every time I play this game. Imagine if they, like, didn't remaster this game, but, like, fully remade it from the ground up. Like, I'm talking even more than, like, the Demon Souls remake. I mean, I'm talking a full scoop out all the innards and put new innards in with a whole new engine, everything wrong with this game just fixed. Like, just completely redo Lost Izalith. Like, that area is dead to me. Just remove it from the game. Imagine if they could do that. Like, the 4-directional dodging is fixed. I might honestly get a mod for it if there is a mod for the directional dodging, because God, I cannot believe they didn't fix that in the remaster. That is such a bummer. Like, why wouldn't you fix it? Because this game is so good, but it kinda... So, I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan, and I think this game has a lot in common with some of the OG Assassin's Creed games, actually. I think that the game is absolutely brilliant. I'm talking about like Assassin's Creed 2, by the way. I think the game is like absolutely brilliant, and I love it, and I'm dead. Okay. But I feel like it just, as the years tick by, it gets harder and harder to overlook certain issues. I'm also going to use the Great Scythe now, because I'm in a new area. And I think this game, it's like a much lesser extent, just because the highs are so high. But it's just like... It's all of the little things that add up. Like, some of the hitboxes are clearly just not working. I'm looking at you, Taurus Demon. Like, I just so badly want to see this game in even just Dark Souls 3's engine. Like, oh man. Can you get out of the way, please? Thanks. I also don't know how to get downstairs. Does that come later? Because I need to get the, I don't know what it's called, but it's the ring that increases your discovery rate. I need that from this area. The ability to scale into your like DPS stats was such a good change with like heavy infusions and keen infusions. Like, such a good change. Oh, is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, that looks like it. I feel like I've seen that before, right? There should be, yeah, they're adding up down there. Let's go. Nice. And this one should just go straight through the wall, I think. Yep, that's a interesting way to design a fortress. There we go. Covetous Gold Serpent Ring. And where does this guy go? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That Could have been better. I'm gonna hit this hidden bonfire, then we're gonna have to go down and fight all of those Titanite demons. That's assuming that I cannot kill the one that is near the blacksmith, which I'm gonna try first, obviously, because that's way easier to handle. I'm gonna swap back to the Lucerne for a second, because I feel like that would do much better against a demon made of stone. Cannot imagine a scythe is gonna be great against that dude. Oh, it would also help if we equipped the ring that we got. Wink. Pretty please, pretty please, pretty please. Pretty please. Aww. Okay. Well, that's very unfortunate. To be expected. I think it is a pretty low drop chance. So now, we're gonna go ahead and try to kill that Black Knight in the garden area, because that's gonna be basically our only shot at getting it. I think there's another halberd one in Tomb of the Giants, maybe? Either that or like Lost Izalith somewhere. So besides that, if we don't get it, we will only be able to get it after we complete the Lord Vessel. Basically, finish the game. The only boss we'll really have left is Gwyn. So basically, if we don't get it now, we're just not gonna get it. Let's not fight you, like, near the cliff, please. I don't want the item to die. Pretty please, pretty please, pretty please. Oh, that sucks, man. I think with this ring, we had like an 80% chance of getting it, if that works how I think it works, which it might not. That is totally a possibility there. Damn, that sucks. Okay, so we're not going to be seeing that for a long, long time. So I think you literally just jump off on this side is how you do it. So let's make sure we got good health and then just leap of faith. Yeah, okay. I guess also survive these guys. That would be helpful if I could do that. Let's heal up again, because we're gonna make another fall. Let's try to land right on this guy. Okay, so down here is like fucko land. There's gonna be a million of these guys that we need to kill. I'm not sure about the best way of doing that. That guy's already waddling towards me, so I kind of want to get that guy. I'm already out of healing. I should have for sure kindled that bonfire. Okay. Man, this is gonna suck. I feel like it's kind of stuff like this that makes it so hard to determine what the hardest Souls game is what makes this game difficult isn't really the bosses. I know I died a lot to Gargoyle, but that was just kind of because I wasn't like trying to win the fight. I was just trying to grind for a specific item, and I'm, you know, restricting myself with weapon types and all that. I feel like a lot of the difficulty just kind of comes from everything outside of a boss fight. Aside from like the DLC, obviously, where you have stuff like Artorias and Kalameet and, you know, Father of the Abyss, that kind of deal. Like actually hard fights. All right, so we're just gonna ignore this guy and then just jump straight down. And then we're gonna jump down again. Oh, of course they're gonna follow me. That's awesome. Hell yeah, welcome to the party, guys. You've just hit me through that attack, man. Just actually just fucking hyper armored through that shit. Alright, you. Look at that hitbox, bro. What a disgusting hitbox. Oh, hello, guy. I'm gonna kick you. Boink. 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 Uh-oh. Look, man, like, how come he doesn't get to fall but I fall? That's such bullshit. Like, really? Like, we're really doing that game? Okay. You know what? How about I just see you when I get it? I don't want to fill up all of my computer space. I forgot to delete the recordings from last run, so I already have like fucking 300 gigabytes of footage sitting in my computer. So I'll just see it when I get it. And we didn't get it. Okay. That was the next attempt too. I shouldn't have even bothered pausing the recording. Alright, so that's one demon. I see one at the end of this hallway. We'll go ahead and try that. There's probably going to be one or two around that corner. Still not totally unconvinced there's not something fucked up hiding around here. I doubt it's just this guy. Oh, I think it actually just is him. Okay. Pretty please. Pretty please. Nope. Okay. Oh, well there's the other one we needed. The scythe, which notably is not a scythe, as you can see from it not being a scythe. And if I have my fun fact trivia up to date, I don't think that's a halberd either, which is extra funny. It's like a completely different kind of obscure weapon type. So it's a halberd that's called a scythe that is none of those two things. God, I love that fucking hitbox. It's so fun to play with. I'm surprised that didn't hit me through that wall. I am shocked that didn't hit me. I'm gonna have to take a break. Like, I'm getting genuinely heated. What? You've got to be shitting me. Dude hit me through a wall. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna have a fucking breakdown. I just want to not be here anymore. I just want to not be here. Can I not be here anymore? I'm so tired. I hate these guys. I hate fighting them. It's some dank ass dungeon. It's dark. It's wet. I can't move my character even though I'm light load because there's like a 1 inch of water. Ooh boy. Since Fortress usually is like a 5-second long dungeon if you just know where to go. But when you start exploring, this shit is asinine. Where the fuck did you come from? What if I just snapped my own neck? That'd be really cool. Like one of these times I'm gonna die in game and you're just gonna hear like a loud pop and then the video ends. Man, Serpent Greatsword. Can't wait to grind for that at some point. Okay, we just gotta kill this fucker before the other one hears. I just literally don't have enough healing to tank all of the bullshit hitbox attacks. Miyazaki, remake this game and my life is yours. The part that sucks the most about this is I know I'm not even going to get the drop in the first place because it's random fucking chance. I love that. Keep in mind, there's only one respawning Titanite Demon, and it only respawns because of a programming oversight. They were just going to give you a rare drop on a limited number of enemies. Oh, you want this weapon? Good fucking luck. Just get lucky. At least they had the common courtesy to just drop a bunch of Black Knights right in front of Gwyn's room so you can grind for like the Black Knight halberd or whatever you want. Like if you're going to have a limited quantity of enemies, don't make that shit chance. Like in Dark Souls 3, mimics have a chance to drop their helmet, which acts as a way to increase your discovery, right? In that game, if you kill all of the mimics, the last one is guaranteed to drop it, just in case, so you don't get locked out of it. I'm going to fucking snap my neck. It's actually gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. What is that hitbox? I cannot believe none of this was addressed in the remaster. Like they actually just gave this shit a 60 FPS patch and shipped it. That's crazy, dog. Here we are. What I believe to be the last demon down here. Nothing. Oh, okay. We're at 26 deaths now. That is already a few more than the entirety of our last Elden Ring run. So just so you know, fighting Titanite demons in Dark Souls 1 at least 10 times harder than fighting Consort Radahn in Elden Ring. Just mathematically so. I wasn't recording when it happened, but we did have our official Chilled Channel first ever desk slam during a recording session. It is the most pissed off I have been, I guess not technically on camera. So I get to save my, my dignity. You don't get to see me have a full baby meltdown over a game from 2011. All right, let's go get Iron Giant. Or Iron Golem, not Iron Giant. The Iron Giant right here. I don't imagine this is gonna do much damage. That's more damage than I thought. For a slash weapon, which is obviously not great against a dude wearing all iron armor. This boss has huge physical damage negation, so that's honestly incredible damage for a boss like this. And again, that overhead is, oh, hello. I forgot you even have a grab. That overhead is really good. There we go. And there is one more Titanite demon here. I'm not sure where like all of the Titanite demons are, but I know there should be one there. As you can see, leveling decks here. Sorry, my voice is cracking, giving away. I have no idea why. Our decks here actually improving this weapon. That's only really a thing with the scythes. I guess we can kill the iron golems here. Or, god damn it, the giants here. So we can see if we can get that drop. Actually, let's put on that ring again. I don't know why my voice is giving out. I have not talked today aside from recording. I mean, look how much damage that's doing. This is not fully leveled by any means. love it when it kicks you. That's so funny. They're just so goofy. I love it. Like, there's the initial, like, fear factor of a mimic, but they make them so goofy that it, like, turns around to being just really funny again. I appreciate that. God, I love 4-directional dodging. It's such a good mechanic. I really don't get it. That's something they would have had to intentionally add to the game. They had to actively do work programming it to be worse. I just will never understand that decision, and the even dumber decision to keep it in the remaster. I'm gonna try to like not talk while I progress a little bit because I feel my voice dying. It takes a lot of work to get noise to come out. I don't know what's going on. Okay, here we are with another Titanite Demon. Let's go! I love these guys. It's the stamp attack is what gets me every time. Whenever he does that jump slam, that shit has the... calling it a lingering hitbox is too good of a saying. Like calling it lingering does not do it justice. Oh, please let it be over. Dead ass gonna make me grind it in Lost Izalith. That is so upsetting. So we can buy as many large Titanite scales and twinkling Titanite as we please, which is always good. And we can also buy the 16-pound behemoth of a giant's halberd. Let's go ahead and get that. Hell yeah. Beautiful. +4. That's not terrible, I guess. And the thing is, I can't even wield this weapon yet. Not even while two-handing it, because it requires so much strength. So we're gonna need to level strength a little bit. But this thing looks amazing. I love everything giant related in this game. They look so good. I'm not actually sure what damage type that one says it does. Regular thrust. Okay. It weighing 16 pounds, though, is absolutely insane. That is so excessive. This weighs 5 pounds. And I've also heard a little down the grapevine a little bit that the Giant's Halberd is kind of just the poor man's Black Knight Halberd, which is definitely unfortunate. It also does split damage with lightning, but since it's just like built into the weapon, it's not terrible like the infusing is in this game, where it doesn't take any of your scaling into account. Like, it does still scale with stats, but even then it's not that great, just because sure it scales, but it doesn't scale well. So I think we're gonna just use the Great Scythe on Ornstein Smough, and then we'll just use whatever money we get from it to level strength until we can use it. I don't know why my voice is giving out, man. That is super unfortunate. I've only been recording for, I don't know, under 3 hours. My voice should not be doing this. All right, we're going to be going into Ornstein Smough with a +8 scythe. Ouch. And I believe we're going to want to kill the same ones that we did last time, just because they're going to drop a ring that's good for thrusting attacks, which some of our weapons have, you know, exclusively. So that's going to be very good for our cause here. So we are going to want to kill Smough first, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Or he can just fucking teleport through Smough to stab me. That's pretty cool. I think I would lean a little bit more into Black Knight Halberd being the best weapon, as opposed to the Scythe, even though this does have the superior scaling and bleed damage. It's just the raw power of Black Knight is so strong. And that's not me making excuses for myself. Like, I'm only losing because I'm not, you know, I don't have that weapon. Just being real, I just suck complete ass. Why did I do no damage? I'm sorry. Like, look how much damage that is. That is fucked up. Keep in mind, I could be doing more damage right now. It's not fully leveled. My levels aren't there in terms of, like, my literal stats. Fucking oops. My bad, dog. Okay. This does, like, no damage if I remember. Yep, okay. I remember I was surprised about that last time. It hit me, like, every time and it did no damage. I think you just have to not be near him. So if he uses that while you're next to him, you're just kind of boned. Unless you're, like, already running. And Leo Ring. That's what we're looking for. A level 36 strength requirement is nuts, considering like the hard cap in these games is like 40. Okay, I'm back from some classic off-camera mining, as you can see. That's what we'll call it. Everything is up to snuff, at least a +10. That's as far as we can go right now until we go down into New Londo to get all that stuff. And my voice is still going, so that's pretty cool. First, let's check out the scythe, since we got that a hot second ago. As you can see, clearly not a scythe, but we'll let them cook, I guess. Two-handed moveset. Looks to be about the same as, what was that, Gargoyle? Where it does overhead and then the slash. And the heavy is that spin. Always pretty decent. And then one-handed. It's going to be the same deal. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and say this is the same as Gargoyle, I believe. The other new one we got is the Giant's Halberd, which we can't one-hand and probably won't ever be able to, so we'll just show off the two-hand. To be honest, there's not really a point in getting this one-handed. It's a halberd and it's 36 strength to one-hand it, so there's never a point where you're realistically going to want to do that because the scaling is so bad. When this bad boy maxes out, it's going to be a DD scaling, so it never gets better in the scaling department, so don't even bother. You just want to look for the bare minimum. The only reason I've been leveling stuff is for the scythe. With this, it's going to be the same deal. It seems a little bit slower, but that might just be in my imagination. Ooh, but the heavy attack's a poke. That's what we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. That is what it is all about. I love that poke life. Jump attack's good. Of course, we're going to be fat rolling, because obviously. Overhead for that. So yeah, that heavy attack really is going to be very good with that poke damage. And I mentioned this before, but this does also do lightning. It's going to be 210 physical, 202 lightning. This is, I believe, a maxed out weapon. I don't think it goes higher than a +5 since it's a twinkling weapon. I don't think that it needs the very large ember to get any further. I think this is it. Yes, so yeah, it only goes to +5. So at the end of the day, it looks like it does the most damage, or I guess not the most damage, just more than the Great Scythe, but the Great Scythe still has 5 more levels to go for physical damage. But that electricity isn't half bad, especially if you're using it for like Ornstein Smough. I believe one of them is weak to electricity, so I mean, it's going to be good for half of them. Yeah, still not as much damage as like a standard +10 Scythe and whatnot, halberd even. So as long as you're fighting something that doesn't like resist lightning, it's going to be doing really good damage. Otherwise, it's just not. I'm just not a fan of that 16 pounds. That is ridiculous for weight. That is comically heavy. I mean, can we wear no gloves, maybe? Nope. We'll go and try to get Havel's ring to mitigate that, but that's very sad. Because I want to have Leo's ring because of that poke. That would do stupid damage against the right enemies with the Leo's ring, but we can't because of the stupid gosh darn Havel's ring that we're going to need. And we already have the Ring of Favor, so keep that in mind. That's also helping our weight load. Part of me really does want to get that mod that changes the weapon weight system to like the newer games where it's just way less punishing. But another part of me is thinking that's kind of the point. Like if I did that, that'd be kind of unfair to other weapons. Like, it's part of the balancing to these kinds of things. I mean, I will be totally real with you. This is very fun to use. I love the super cheesy electricity sound effect they use for these older games. Very much the stock sound, but I find that very charming. I really like how the second swing is that wide one. I think that's very good for running into a group and doing just what I just did there, where I swing into the crowd with that first slash, which is pretty much going to kill that first one I hit. And then as the enemies kind of surround you, you will bring out that second attack that does the large swing, which is going to knock all of them out. So I think that's a very good combo to have. What about naked? Can we use it naked? Yeah, we can. Okay, we'll just be naked. Finally using a weapon that could rival yours in girth. Ooh, that's great damage. Let's go for this giant R2. Bam! I just two-shot Havel. Alright, can we wear pants now? We can wear pants, hallelujah. Boink. 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 That was a fight. Well, I say it's time that we go back, get the doll, and I'll probably go to Priscilla. I have a correction to make from my last video. I, for some reason, always thought that Priscilla in that whole painting area was a DLC. Someone corrected me in the comments. It is not a DLC. I don't know what the fuck I was smoking. My only guess is since you go into a painting in Dark Souls 3rd DLC, that was somehow like just a reference to this DLC, since Dark Souls 3's second DLC is like kind of a reference to this game's DLC. What I thought was the second DLC with Artorias and whatnot, since Artorias is, or rather Gale is very similar to Artorias. It has the same like intro cutscene that he does, where he like throws the corpse at you, and it's heavy on time travel and like that kind of stuff, you know? So in my head, I always thought this was DLC. I think part of it also was just maybe because to get into the DLC in this game, you need to get like the pendant or the doll, whichever one it is. And then the other is kind of similar. Like to get into the painted world, you need that item, which is kind of similar how you get to the DLC. So I just assumed both of them were DLC. That's just kind of what happens when you play these games like after the DLC's out, you know? It just kind of blends into the base game. Also, check that damage that we're doing. Like, it's nothing like insane, but if you recall last time, the fight took almost 10 minutes because I was using the fucking worst weapon ever made by mankind. We're gonna use the normal scythe one more time. I hate calling it a scythe because I don't want to confuse anybody with like the actual scythe, but there's nothing else I can call it. Maybe we'll do enough damage to actually sear this time. That'd be really cool. Oh my god, I can. Go for the tail. We could still turn this into a dagger only run. Nope. Wait, maybe? No. Oh, I tried. Alright, cool. So we already have a plus 10 halberd, so we can actually go and get her boss weapon, I think. Oh, you can turn any of them into the Life Hunt Scythe. Okay, that makes sense. I think we'll go ahead and just do the normal halberd. It's very basic, although I do appreciate its thrust-centric moveset. I think is very unique, but I think overall the giant one will kind of replace it in the end, solely because it still has a thrust in the form of its heavy attack, but also has the good moveset of the overhead into a slash into overhead into slash. So I think we will be replacing this one. So we just turned a plus 10 halberd into a plus 0 life hunt scythe. Let's see how much we can upgrade that. All right, so with all the demons we've killed, I've killed fucking 8 Titanite demons. Fuck me, man. We can get 8 of those. I don't know how many you need to fully upgrade it, because I've never done this before, but we will see together. So I assume you just get it to a plus 5, so I still need 2 more, but we have to grind for the other one anyway. And I believe we can use the scythe now. Yeah, 252 damage, that's really good. That's more than our giant scythe. I do know the reason this is not considered to be as good though. I won't spoil it. If you don't know, I'll go ahead and let you find out the hard way. Okay, for reasons that will soon be apparent, we're actually going to test this weapon on an enemy and not just hitting air. So this guy right here, we'll go ahead and hit him, and we just took bleed damage. This weapon actively hurts us to use. And it goes up really, really fast. Boom. Huge chunk of damage we just took. So this weapon is fucking terrible. I don't know what FromSoft does with these fucking boss weapons every time to make them the worst fucking weapons in these games. I will never understand it. Add a really cool boss that uses a scythe. Awesome. It hurts you when you use it. Cool. Like, come on, man. It's not even like it does that much more damage. It's just not worth it even a little bit. Now, imagine doing that against a boss. Well, you won't have to imagine because we're going to do that, but I just killed, like, what, 5 one-shot NPCs? Or just normal hollows there? I probably swung 5 or 6 times, and it just cut my HP almost in half. How health do I have? I'm at 30 vitality, my man. Oh, that sucks. We're at least gonna wait until it's max level just for maximum use, but that's just sad. What a sad day to be a Scythe fan. I mean, not really, since you have what some would consider the best weapon in the game also in that category, but it scales worse, shocker, than the other Scythe. And I don't think it will end up doing as much damage either, just base stats, just because it doesn't level up as much, but we'll see. All right, let's test out the Scythe, take all of the damage. Jesus Christ. That almost just fucking lost all my blood there. Okay. Man, this thing sucks. Look how much fucking bleed that does. It's so comical. Oh my god. Now granted, it does do a lot of bleed damage in return to the enemy, but it's just not worth it. I don't think Priscilla was taking damage to herself, was she? That's some bullshit. She's got Game Shark activated. That's not fair. I mean, maybe if you're on like a New Game Plus run and you have nothing else to put stats in, maybe if you just got like 99 resistance or some dumb shit like that, this could work. I don't know. And I know I'm basically naked, so my blood resistance is gonna be ass anyway, but you need to be naked in this game to get any rolling done. It's a Dark Souls game, you have to roll. And I don't want to be sitting there fat rolling the whole time. Like, this is basically necessary to play this game. The first time I ever played this game, I was struggling a lot with Gwyn. I didn't know about the parry strat at the time. And I was struggling because he was the first boss that like genuinely tested my skills. I didn't know where the DLC was either, so it was the hardest boss in the game by far. And I was dying and dying and dying for like an hour until one attempt I took all of my clothes off, and I didn't really realize what I was doing because I started light rolling. I guess I just didn't notice that your medium rolls were basically heavy rolls for today's standards. I just assumed I was medium rolling, which I was. So I took off all my clothes, and then I beat him first try, because of course you can. I was sitting there playing this game on expert difficulty for no reason. It's also just not as big as the other one. Like, come on now. The Great Scythe is in my left hand. The Life Hunt's in my right. I mean, I'll give it this. The Life Hunt Scythe looks amazing. I love that design. For a Dark Souls 1 weapon, that is so badass. But like, just why would you use it? Just use the Great One. You can get it off spawn. There's no reason to. Alrighty, buddy. Come and get me. Come on. Yeah. Alright, heal up. Heal up again. Jesus, what a clusterfuck of a weapon. That's terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong, the damage is good. It's just use the Great Scythe. There's no reason to. It's so infuriating. There's your copy and pasted demons over there. Just all standing there. Almost looks like they're facing the same direction, just basically T-posing. Again, remake the game, fix this area. It's that easy. Like, obviously leave the good parts of the game alone. Like, you don't have to touch basically anything in the first half. Just make this like a game, and then we're okay. So it seems like every third swing we do will end in blood loss. So I don't even think armor is gonna save this. They'll at most give me like 1 or 2 extra swings. And like, what's gonna die in 5 swings in this game using this weapon in particular? Like, maybe if you do like a jumping attack on Taurus Demon or some shit, you know? Like, nothing's gonna go down that easily. And we'll test it against good old Firesage. See where it takes us. See how many swings it takes us to kill ourselves with it. Ouch. Or I'll just die normally. That could also happen. Okay. Yeah, about 3 hits. I mean, that is good bleed damage, I guess. It's not quite double the amount that the Great Scythe has. I believe it's at like 300 and this is 500. It's like, I can't deny it's good bleed. And this is basically best case scenario for this weapon because this boss is super predictable and is very safe to play around. So like, I know when I can just run around and just stall. I kind of had this dilemma last time. Is this better than, let's say, I don't know, just the default halberd? Because you could say that this does more damage. You know what? Let's actually say that. Let's say that this is better than the halberd. What's the point of using this over the Great Scythe? There isn't really a reason. So could you say that the halberd is better than this weapon then? Because at least you have a reason to use the halberd over this, because it's different. It has a different moveset. But since this weapon just gets replaced by the Great Scythe, there's not really a reason to use this. Like, there's still a reason to use the halberd because of its moveset. The moveset on this is the exact same as Great Scythe. So does this out DPS the halberd? Yes. But would I rather use this over the halberd? No. Because I could just use the Great Scythe if I wanted to use a scythe in this game. It's in a weird spot. It makes it kind of hard to rank. Because pretty definitively, this is one of the best halberds in the game. The damage is nuts, but just use the Great Scythe. It's the same, but better. You get like 3 hits before you have to back off. You just gotta get tiptoe around the boss. Hope it's a boss that you can just poke around with. And here I am, I have a huge opening. I gotta sit here and wait so I can hit him one time and keep waiting. Granted, this is probably the best game to use a weapon like this because it does let you have 20 flasks at once. So you could just keep healing through it, I suppose. Yeah, fuck it. We'll just hit him. Or I'll miss. It's okay. There you go. Is this weapon good in isolation? Yes. Would I rather use it over most of the alternatives? No. This weapon loses value simply because other weapons replace it. Such a weird spot to rank it. This place is going to be hell for more reasons than one this time. This is now where we get to grind a Titanite Demon for the next foreseeable future. And yeah, we ain't using this anymore. Get this the fuck out of my hands. Giants. Get it in here, baby. No, I can't because it's too heavy. God damn it. Fuck it, we'll just heavy roll. I don't care. I don't want to take my pants off. I need something. So basically, if my understanding is correct, we get to do the Bed of Chaos run back, but worse, because we're going past the arena to go to the opposite end of the shortcut, and we get to grind this bugged demon that won't despawn because of a coding oversight, and we just get to sit there and whack him for 45 minutes. I don't know where it is. And what extra sucks is we're gonna have to swap out this ring whenever we kill the demon because we need the increased item discovery ring, and we can't take off the FAP ring because it breaks when you take it off. All right, I think it's right there. Oh, hi. Oh, you're gonna be here too. That sucks. How do I get there? I don't remember. Okay, so maybe it's not as long as I thought. Like, it's gonna be long, but not like how long I thought it was. I mean, yeah, we still have to go past the door, so it is gonna be longer than normal. Could you not follow me? So now we get to swap to a different ring. There we are. And we get to attempt to kill this thing, because obviously it's no guarantee that we actually kill them. It's a Titanite Demon. There's your busted lingering hitbox attack, and I'm dead. Okay, so if there's ever a time that I break this new Steam controller, it's now, so I might have to swap to a PS5 controller. I'd much rather break that than this. I've never broken a controller in Rage in my life, but I would not be surprised if this is what pushed me over the edge. I am a certified desk slammer, though. I'll slam a desk. This thing is sturdy, made of metal. Okay, swap on over. Hello. Thank you, lingering hitbox. God, why are you so tanky? Oh my god! Oh. My head, like, actually hurts just from the thought of doing this. That was only my second attempt. I failed both times, and my head hurts. Like, it's actively throbbing. Like, I can feel a vein next to my eye. And I forgot to swap the ring back. Oh my god. I'm gonna be here for 4 hours. Oh my god. Please remake this game. Just do it over. It was a good attempt. I just lost like 40k souls. Oh, I gotta go take a walk. I'm hot. I gotta get out of here. Why, hello there. Welcome back. It is the next day. I have cooled down. I'm cool as a cucumber. And we're gonna go ahead and just, we're gonna be okay. We're just gonna kindle this bonfire. Well, we're gonna be human first for the first time this run. We're gonna kindle this bonfire and we're gonna be okay. I took a cool break for the day. I went and played some COD Zombies, had a fun time, and we're back. And I think this calm will exist for the next maybe 5 minutes. I think that's how long it's going to take me to lose my mind again. But let's not worry about that. Having a fun time playing one of my favorite games. Go ahead and put on our item discovery ring. You know what? That's okay. Because we're having a fun time and we're playing one of my favorite games. And there's no need to get mad about that. Because that's just what you do. Really, it's just giving me the opportunity to continue playing this game. Every death is an opportunity to succeed again. So really, I want to thank this game for taking me out with some of the most obnoxious hitboxes I've ever seen. Thank you for giving me that chance, Dark Souls. Oh my god, I avoided that attack. I'm the first person on the planet to do that. That could be it. This could be it. Oh my god. We actually did it. Oh my god. I was prepared to be here for like 2 hours. Okay. We got it. Well, that is, yeah, approximately 2 hours sooner than I thought we were going to get that weapon. We finally have a weapon that probably isn't even good. But my god, we got it. Let's just go ahead and do the weapon showcase. Okay, two-handed moveset. So it's that same overhead and then slash, which I think might be my favorite. And heavy attack is a jump slam, kind of like he does. That's pretty cool, honestly. It takes like a shit ton of stamina. All right, and then one-handed. Same deal. And same deal. Let's just try some of that. Some of that. You've pretty much seen it before. Wink. I believe the only other halberd we have left is the classic Black Knight variant. Okay, well, that's the way to do it. I just had to see the run back one more time. I'm just a huge fan. Okay, that's pretty much it. Tiny bug defeated. After I upgraded my weapon, I realized that this new one actually does split magic damage, and it does do more magic than physical, which is very sad, and it should make you sad, because it makes me sad. Though I guess in this game, not everything is like super resistant to magic, like they are in a lot of modern FromSoft games, so that might not actually be the worst thing in the world. So that's pretty cool. We'll have to see. I'll look at upcoming bosses to see like which ones might actually be good with magic damage. Okay, so it turns out that like every boss in the DLC is super resistant to magic damage, so we're gonna have to use it somewhere in the base game. And I figured we would just probably do Nito, because he resists it a little bit, but he doesn't resist it too bad. There we go. That's how it was supposed to go the first time. I fooled you all. I was actually saving this for the hardest fight in the game. I can't believe we live in a world where Pinwheel gets a boss cutscene, but like most of the Elden Ring DLC bosses don't get a cutscene. Like, can you just even imagine that? Ask of the Child. I think that's the good one, right? Stamina recovery speed. Yeah, it is, but we gotta wear the sunlight maggot because we're in the worst area in the game. Let's go. It's crazy how bad they could manage to fuck up an area in this game. Like, I think you would have to actively be trying to make an area this bad. It makes it more impressive than anything. Reminds me of, like, the Shrine of Whatever in Dark Souls 2, or like that snowfield in the DLC, where it's like, how did we even get here? Like, how many checks did this have to go through, like, in the internals of the company? Like, how many green lights had to be passed for this to be published? Because shit like that doesn't just happen. There's like a team of people that have to like look at what you're doing and like give it the pass. Like, it makes the first half and the second half of this game feel like completely different video games. It's like, to make the game faster, they had like 2 different studios work on it, and this, like, the less talented studio got the second half or something. I think we might have a chance of getting the Black Knight halberd here, but I don't know where the Black Knight is, which is kinda a problem. Just in case, we'll throw on the discovery ring and we'll just wander around, because I think it's somewhere around here. Are there any knights around these parts? Any brave soldiers? I don't like how little I'm stunning enemies. Like, I'll hit someone, and they'll just continue to swing at me, which feels kind of odd. Oh, there he is. Hello. I would like your weapon, please. If you would be so kind. Of course not. It's fine. I only killed you twice and had the item boost discovery ring on, which, you know, in theory was supposed to give it to me, but, you know, I only did everything correctly. Fuck me, I guess. I'll simply get better. It's like extra frustrating for me because I always get the Black Knight drops. Like, I swear, like, when I'm not even trying, I have like a 90% success rate in getting them. All right, all the friends are here, all the buddies. I do one-shot them this time though. That makes things a little more manageable. And our damage isn't the worst. Though I would like it if I wasn't stuck in a corner. Thank you. Ooh, shit. Bro, toxic me. Wink. Yeah, that was pretty manageable. Hopefully we can, like, do damage to the, boars leading up to it, because that was a bummer last time. And I think that the 4 kings actually have, less resistance to lightning damage, I believe, so we could probably use the giants. Alright, so we can dodge it this time. Hey. Oh my god, we do damage. Man, that's so much more manageable than last time. It's kind of weird. I don't know about Demon Souls, but I think it's odd how Dark Souls 3, and I guess Bloodborne, are like the first Souls games, like, let you even use armor. Because Dark Souls 1, you don't want to use armor because you aren't light rolling, and light rolling is king. And then Dark Souls 2, you don't want armor because that hurts your stamina regen, which is already kind of brutal in that game. So you kind of need that. And then Dark Souls 3 is fine. It's just kind of annoying because your stamina and your, like, equip load stat are different. So it's this very strange feeling of, like, why is armor so bad? Get parried, idiot. Honestly, Dark Souls 1 might have the most tolerable NPC fights in the entire FromSoft catalog. NPCs are stupid, they're easily parryable, there's not that many of them. Weird how they imprison you, but let you keep your weapons. Okay, so we got word of this undead coming around. He killed 2 lords and rung both bells and is fulfilling the prophecy. But we did manage to just body bag him with Seath. What do we do? Throw him in a cage, but let him keep all of his shit. It would be very rude for us to take him from him. And then let's put the eepiest guard of all time in front of the cell. Just a sleepy little guy. I actually kind of like the Grand Archives. It is for sure the best of the late game areas. Not even close. Alright, here's the annoying part, because one of these clams will follow you in on your first time, because the Fogwell's not there yet for some reason. We should probably not use this, because it does magic, and, oh, we got 2 clams this time. That's cool. Double the clam. Twice the fun. I don't think I've ever once gotten the Moonlight Greatsword from this guy. It is such a hard tail to cut off. And damage isn't great. What if we hot swapped to... You know what? Let's use the Lucerne. This feels kind of fitting somehow. No. Bad Seath. Alright, just 4 kings left. Alright, we are with 4 kings. We're going to be using the Giant's Halberd here. You should be doing a little bit of good damage, because I don't know if I would call it a weakness to lightning, but they do take less lightning resistance than any other element, I believe. So, should be okay. Can you not run? Oh, don't use that attack. That attack sucks. That's not great damage. Boink, boink, boink. I learned you can actually still damage them like that. See, they just took more damage, even after they're, like, dead, I guess. I feel like it should just auto-spawn the next king once you kill one of them. So, like, why do you make me wait? Ah, I thought I could kill him in time. I was way off. No. That attack lasts for so long that I usually just purposely get hit by it because it's so much more annoying trying to play around it. Oh, well, let's not choke it, please. I choked it. That's crazy. I wanted to play it safe by healing, but that was not the play. Now I get to run back all that way. God, I fucking love the run backs. Oh, I knew that was gonna grab me. I'm good. Get me out of there. I'm not doing that entire run back again. I refuse. I'll simply redo the entire fight. I lost 2 heals. I can manage with that. Isn't it kind of weird that with the Firekeeper souls you need to increase like the effectiveness of your heal, like 2 of them are like on the beaten path in the game and none of the others are? Like I always only have 2 of them in this game. Like I know where I think 2 more of them are, but you have to go like out of your way to get it, and I just never bothered to do it. Like there's the one in Blighttown, which is kind of just a suicide run to get, and then there's the one in the archives, but you have to backtrack down that entire staircase once you are basically finished with the area, and it's just so annoying I don't bother. It's not like your healing's that bad. It just always struck me as odd. Like you basically cannot miss the one below the gargoyles fight. It's just right there on the beaten path, and then the one in this area is like right at the beginning and is like one of the first items you can even see when entering the area. That one's also really hard to miss, and then that's it. The others are scavenger hunts. Always found that kind of odd. I find it kind of scary down here. Like, I don't like being down here at all. Just in the pitch black. Alright, go ahead and throw on our item discovery ring and go hunt some Black Knights. Not these, though. These guys are okay. I think this area is even prettier than the end of Dark Souls 3, to be honest. It just has like a little bit more of a grander scope to it. Like, where even is this area? We just came in through like a portal. I don't remember which one has the halberd. Is it the last guy? That'd make me sad. Oh, it sure is, because this guy's an axe. Yep, there he is. Alright, give it to me. Got a shield. I got it. Yippee. So that should be the last weapon. Yeah. It's very unfortunate we didn't get it until now, because we have like nothing left to use it on, but this weapon does have a damage bonus against demon type enemies. So it would have been really cool if we got it before Lost Izalith and all that, where we fought like 1,000 demon enemies, but do what you can. Well, I say we go to the princess here and give her something to remember us by, like a throwing knife. Uh-oh. I forget it has like a whole cutscene with it. I almost feel like it would be more effective if it just went dark. Like, how scary would that be? I'm shocked that they put a bonfire this close to the boss. That is so unlike this game. Hello, Gwyndolin. Goodbye, Gwyndolin. I guess now that we pissed off the bonfire keeper or whatever, we can get another soul. God damn it. Okay. Gotta love that stun lock into getting one shot. Why am I here? Who brought me here? Like no, really, like, why did it teleport me here? What did I do? Okay. Like, you saw me sit down there, and now I'm just here. Boink. Boink. I really wish that you get, like, more than 1 or 2 hits in, and then just increased his health. Like, would it make sense that he's fragile? Yeah, but for, like, gameplay reasons, maybe have him be... This is why I did not fight him last time, but I felt bad that I left like 2 or 3 bosses undefeated, so here we are. Oh my god. This is very engaging. Aside from the obvious like spectacle of this fight with like the infinite hallway and like that kind of stuff, like what were they thinking? Because that's kind of all this fight has. Be very quiet.
So it was you, was it? How dare you produce a blade upon a deity? How did you ever get this? But how? This man is a threat. Master Gwyndolin.
Oh, man. Black Knight Halberd, everybody. So it was you, was it? Oh, how could this be? Like, immediately after. Oh, man. I don't think we ever technically showed off the moveset for this, so I'll go ahead and do that now. But it is your standard up and then slash, which is my favorite. Then we have our heavy attack, which is another running one. Kind of reminds me of the scythe. So it does pretty much have the moveset you'd be looking for. Your jump attack is a different kind of slash. Yeah, you're rolling into a light. You got your back step, turns into an overhead. So yeah, very, very solid. All right, Sanctuary Guardian. Okay, Sanctuary Guardian. I'll give you that one. It's fine, you can just hit me literally every attack. I won't even dodge it. Don't worry about it, buddy. I'm just here to make you feel better. Boink. And look at that damage. One hit staggered him. A single hit. Now imagine how well we'd be doing if I was an ass at this game. It's terrifying to think about. Boink. Boink. Yeah, I mean, it's the best weapon in the game. Like, what do you want me to say about that? I had negative brain power activating as I was doing that. I just tanked every hit with no armor on and then R1'd him to death. This is kind of a weapon where the moveset doesn't even really matter. Tap R1 and you're fine. Alright, if I don't first try this guy, I'm gonna be really sad at myself. After how much shit he gave me last time, too. Oh my god, that damage. God, if you recall the amount of damage I was doing last time, that's crazy. Stop him from buffing by knocking him out of the attack. Oh, my camera kind of bugged out there. Boink. Hate to see it, Artorias. Sorry, buddy. I had the Black Knight halberd this time. I wasn't stuck with my S-stock or whatever. That showcases how above this weapon is. Yes, I think it was the S-stock I was using, right? Either way, it was a thrusting sword of some sort. Just how broken this shit is. As you can see, we don't get like anything from leveling, like at all. A single point of damage with a strength level. And technically we don't even meet the requirements for this weapon yet. We just do because we're two-handing it. Like the S-stock wasn't a bad weapon at all. It just had the misfortune of not being the Black Knight halberd. And last time I didn't fight the dragon, so I do actually need to like look up how to do that, because I've fought him like maybe twice in my life, just because it's kind of annoying to get to. So I'll probably just be back when I figure that out. I find it kind of interesting you don't need the Abyss ring to do Manus. He literally pulls you into the Abyss, and he is the Abyss. I'm probably gonna die here. I didn't bother to like activate new shortcuts or kindle any bonfires or anything. Just wanna see how much damage we can do. That's pretty good for Manus. Can you cut off Manus's tail? I don't know. Did I do that last time? Am I stupid? Ow. Ow. I don't dodge fast enough to dodge that. You know what? This might actually be a fight for the scythe. I will save dog. You know, I think Artorias might have actually won against the Abyss if he would have used the Black Knight halberd. I think that was his biggest fuck up. Do I have to like summon the dog? Or is the dog just there? I do not remember. I mean, I'll summon the dog if I can. I don't think I've done that. Come on, dog. I mean, I might have. I honestly do not remember. I was so angry last time at oh, okay. That also works. You'll get him, Sif. I was so heated and under pressure last time that like I just completely blocked that last part of the recording out of my brain. I don't even remember from editing. You know how in Dark Souls 2, once you beat all the DLCs, you can like, I don't know if you combine the crowns or how that exactly works, but once you get all the crowns, you can basically have infinite humanity. I really wish they did something like that in this DLC to where you could just permanently be human after you like go into the Abyss. These things drop a ton of humanity. I feel like it'd be kind of a no-brainer to make like an ultra humanity that, I don't know, if it would give you like permanent humanity or like what level it would be, or at least just make you look human. I also wanted to do Scythe on this one just because this boss out of like all of them in the game is when you for sure like need to light roll. And using the Great Scythe, you can see how insane the damage still is. No. No. Go after dog. Come on. Okay. You didn't go after dog, but I forgive you. immediately uses that attack again. Love to see it. Oh, I'll get there if this keeps going on. I'll get to the point I was last time. God, I love how every time I die, I get the opportunity to just use this item again and then sit down at a bonfire again and then hit the same option in the menu again. I love how I do that every time. It just lets me appreciate this game even more. With all the time I get to wait, I mean, not waste, the time I get to spend in this wonderful game. If you think I lose my mind in this game that I like, by the way, you do not want to see me on Dark Souls 2. I will actually have like a full mental breakdown. The first half of the game is going to be okay. Like, it's all going to be fun and games. I'll die and I'll be like, haha, Dark Souls 2 moment. I got ambushed by 40,000 enemies in a hallway. But then like by the halfway point, I'm gonna reach this limit where my brain just breaks and like it'll start feeling personal and it's gonna be devastating. Okay, so maybe you can't light roll through it? I don't know. Sif, if you could do literally anything, that would be so cool. Get him, Sif. I'll let you get the last hit. Go get him. Yeah! You avenged your master. Let's go! Yeah! See, instead of giving you 10 humanities, which is crazy, by the way, it should just give you, like, an infinite humanity. I need to know the lore of this DLC. I got no idea what's going on. I killed her because I was mad last time, but I'll spare her this time. I got, like, the second best weapon in the game. I'm in a better mood. I figured I'd mention this before we stop using the Great Scythe. I'm at 35 dex, 27 strength. The strength doesn't really matter, and I already leveled it up, like, more than I probably should have. See how much damage I still get at this level of dex? I get plus 5 damage with 1 level. I'm not gonna do it because we're done using this weapon, but just keep that in mind. Like, the scythes, both of them, are like the only weapons that you want to actually level your character for. Like, that is so much damage. Like, how much damage we were doing to Manus would have been even more. And I think you can infuse that weapon since it's not like a twinkling or anything. So you can put like Sunlight Blade or, you know, whatever else buffing you want. I don't usually do that for this game, but you totally could, and it would be totally valid. So figured I'd mention that. Just level dex as far as you want. You could probably go to like 50 and still be getting something out of it. Okay, after probably 10 minutes of getting blasted by mages, I found the key. Why doesn't this guy sell chunks? That's what actually pisses me off. Like, really? This guy? Like, he's in the DLC. Cut me some slack. But we actually have to take a mandatory death to the boss in order to beat it. Kind of like Seath. And I don't remember if I counted Seath as a death, but I'm not gonna count this guy. Kill me, dragon, if you dare. He dared. Alright, now we go cry to the blacksmith that we just got our ass blasted, and then he'll help us out. Oh, there's a little crystal lizard there. Never noticed him. Alright. I fought this dude like maybe twice. I figured this would be a good weapon choice, not only because obviously it's, you know, a Black Knight weapon, but because of its attack chain of that overhead slash. It just looks like he no-clips. That's such a funny attack. This looks so goofy, I love it. Very weird how this is like the only dragon fight in the game. I know there's that like sleeping dragon in the Painted World and in the Valley of Drakes, but like the only like boss. I'm not sure what that did, but it made a scary sound. Like, look at that overhead slash. It's able to actually hit the head. Bonk. Bonk. Yay. Alright, aside from Gwyn, that is the last boss in the game. And we got a ring for our troubles. Receive double damage. Man, I'll put that one on. Why are you blue? Titanite slab. Alright, Gwyn. Come and get me, buddy. I completely whiffed that. I might not be able to actually get the riposte from this. You know what? Let's actually not parry Gwyn. Let's do this legit. I don't need parries. Damn, that comes out fast. Sippy, 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 sippy. Okay. More sippies. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. It's just not fair. Well, we did it. We have darked the souls. Now, we can't actually leave this room now to rank the weapons in a different environment from last time. Oops. Now, this mod, the bonfire mod, does something I'm not like a huge fan of, and it automatically gets rid of the mechanic of new game plussing as soon as you finish the game. So you'll go and get your ending, and then instead of giving you credits, it just puts you back at Firelink Shrine, and then you new game plus from the bonfire. That means we can't actually sit through the credits and listen to the song, which hurts my feelings, but we could do the weapon showcase out there, but then we wouldn't see the ending at the actual end afterward. So I think for now, I'm just gonna do it in here again, just risk being repetitive. I will pause, I will get my list formed, and I'll be back with results. Okay, I have finished the list, and this might be some of the hardest I've had to think about a bottom 3 in a list I've made so far. I really sat here for like a solid 10 minutes trying to come up with what would make the bottom 3, because I kind of dislike these weapons for completely different and kind of bias and more meta reasons. So I hope that this doesn't upset anyone. At the end of the day, it's my opinion on how I view these weapons, and this is also coming from a troglodyte idiot who has not been playing this game since launch like a lot of people have, a lot of people that would be viewing this kind of video. I've only been playing these games like this for like 2.5 years, with Dark Souls specifically. You know, kind of like 2024 is when I got into the other Souls games. So I am lacking experience, and last time I thought I had a slam dunk last place with the Mailbreaker, I believe it was called, and I actually did have someone in the comments of that video go and bat for that weapon, which I just was not expecting at all. And while I don't agree with his opinion on it, just with the way I play the game, I guess, I can definitely see being my last place weapon being somebody's favorite. And on paper, it kind of is. And I'll stop stalling. It's going to be the Life Hunt Scythe. I did not care for this weapon at all, which just sucks. And I know it's probably really good if you use it correctly. I just don't see a point of it, though. I think it looks really cool. It might be my favorite looking halberd in the entire game. Definitely the best looking scythe out of the two, but it has a shorter reach than the Great Scythe, and the biggest smoking gun is that stupid bleed buildup that happens. It just kills this weapon for me, man. You can only hit someone like 3 times before you have to stop attacking, no matter if you have an opportunity to attack or not. I think it being shorter also kind of kills the point of a scythe, which is a huge long-range slash kind of weapon to take out multiple mobs at once. And because scythes and halberds really as a whole are kind of made for those huge sweeping attacks like that, the entire point is that you're hitting like 2 or more enemies at once, and you can't do that with this weapon because of that bleed buildup. If you use this like a scythe is supposed to be used, in my opinion, you just end up literally killing yourself. Like, you will bleed proc yourself instantly if you do that. And you can only do that 2 or 3 times before you're just straight up dead. And it's for that reason I have to give it last. It is actively detrimental to use. And this maybe wouldn't have been last place specifically. It would have just been like, you know, bottom 5 maybe, if the Great Scythe just didn't exist. Not only because it's considered to be one of, if not the best weapons in the game, it's also just kind of a replacement for this weapon. It has the exact same moveset, it's longer, it still does bleed damage, not to you, but to your opponent, just not as much. And while this weapon has better base stats, the scaling is better on the Great Scythe. So why would you use this? Even putting aside the damage you do to yourself, it's still maybe only equal to the Great Scythe. Now you throw self-damage into the equation, and now it's way off. This weapon swung and missed, and that makes me so sad. And I know there's gotta be some way you can make it work, either by just chugging those anti-bleed buildup like moss clumps or whatever. I'm sure someone's made it worked, and honestly it works okay as long as you just stop playing the game for 15 seconds while you wait for your blood buildup to come down so you can attack one more time and then wait another 15 seconds. It's just infuriating, man. And honestly, this wouldn't even be that bad if this was in like Elden Ring or something, because that game has a ton of like talismans and shit that would help you with blood loss, you know? Like there's an entire magic category in that game being madness, which his whole point is building up your own madness buildup. This weapon would thrive in that game, but it's just not in that game. I would say that this is technically better than at least the next two placements, but because this weapon has a straight up replacement, it has to be the bottom. It'd be like using a +0 ring above a +3 ring, even if it's a good ring, you know? It just, why would you use it when the +3 is right there in the same playthrough? There's just no point. And then for our number 8 spot, also with some more meta reasoning for my placement, I'm going to go ahead and put the Titanite Catch Pull. This weapon is an absolute bitch to grind for, man. And when your other options in this weapon class are so early on and so much better, there's just not really much of a reason to use it. It has the most common attack chain, which is the overhead into a slash. Its heavy attack just isn't very good because of how long it takes you to get out of it. And for example, I'm going to use this heavy attack, and as soon as I do, I'm going to spam dodge just to see how much recovery this thing has. That is how long it takes you to recover from that. It has a long buildup, and then you just stay in the ground like that. And what sucks is that attack only does about twice as much damage as a standard R1. So in that time that you're doing this, you could have just hit them twice or maybe even 3 times with your R1. Keep in mind that the R1s are faster when you're fighting an actual enemy because of like the stagger mechanic if you miss with these weapons. So you could most definitely get at least 3 hits in, which would out DPS the heavy attack. And the problem with that is the heavy attack for these weapons are usually really good spin to win attacks, where you spin around 2.5 times and take out everything around you. So now you've effectively taken a weapon that is made for its versatility and took away what makes it versatile. Oops. Also, split damage with magic is a very 50-50. If you've seen my videos, you know how I feel about split damage types. I'm generally not a fan. You have to be something really special for me to swallow that pill, but especially when you get to the DLC and everything just walls magic, just use anything else. And again, this thing sucks to grind for. Most of the Titanite demons outside of the one next to Andre are just kind of a bitch to go to, especially when you're at the bottom of Sen's Fortress. Those are just an absolute nightmare. I would consider that a worse experience than all of Blighttown, I'll be honest with you. That shit was terrible. It made me actually slam my desk like I'm a 14-year-old Call of Duty player. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. All right, and then for number 7, we have the very deceptively named Scythe, which is neither a scythe or a halberd, but here we are. This weapon is, I think, the most okay of all of them. And while I would say in some scenarios, the Life Hunt Scythe and the Titanite Catch Pole could be better, this one just generally is the most average to good. It actually has decent scaling, being, I think, a low B by the time it's fully upgraded. So it does stand out by being a weapon that, you know, has at least something going for it in the scaling department. God knows the other ones don't. I think a sort of meta aspect that I take into account with these rankings is ease of gathering. This weapon isn't farmed from an enemy, but it is in one of the most annoying to get to places, which is the bottom of Sen's Fortress again. So this one is going to be just actual torture to get to. And the reason it is also ranked lower than some of the others is it has the very box standard moveset, so there's nothing really making it stand out for that extra effort that you're putting in to go gather it. This weapon is just the most average. There's nothing really going for it. And I think it just being annoying to get and generally just unimpressive in all counts puts it this low. All right, and then for number 6, we're gonna go ahead and put in Gargoyle's Halberd. This halberd isn't really anything that special to write home about, but I did bump it up a little bit more than the scythe because it does do more damage, and also it does give you a teeny bit of resistance in your, I believe, bleed, poison, and toxic stats. So, I mean, maybe you do wield this with Life Hunt for that bleed resistance. I don't know. It has that standard up slash, which is very good. Other than that, it's box standard. It is extremely similar. A note I'll give it is you can get it very early with the Gargoyles fight, but if you don't get it or grind for it like I did early on, you will have to wait until Anor Londo to get another chance at it with the Gargoyles there. Or that is something to beware with this weapon here. Other than that, the resistance gain is kind of all this weapon's got. The weapons here in the middle very much blend together, like the scythe, Gargoyle's Halberd, Lucerne, they all kind of blend in. So the placement here very much could just swap towards preference. I could definitely see someone preferring the Scythe over Gargoyle's Halberd, but that's just me. All right, at number 5, pretty much everything here on I would definitely be happy to use. I think all of these and above are just genuinely good weapons with no real meh aspects to it. And for here, we are going to get the Lucerne. Now, what is special about this weapon is that it's pretty much the first to have a unique moveset, which is crazy. But this one actually has a very satisfying all down pokes. And this thing will just fuck if it is weak to this damage type. This does 100% thrust damage. So get your Leo ring, which I actually never even used. I picked it up and never used it. But get on your Leo ring and then just pound things with this. If they're a night enemy, say goodbye. Go ahead and throw on like Sunblade or whatever, like any of your infusible buffs. Just go ahead and use it. Get some Pine Resin or something and just go to town. It's still got the spin to win, which is obviously great and is something that you're really missing with stuff like Titanite Catchpole. But this unique kind of moveset is what really drives this kind of weapon for use. I think this is also a good pick for fights like Kalameet, that's head is above you, and this is going to be just barely big enough to just hit his head. I mean, I believe it is. The Black Knight Halberd did, so I can't imagine this couldn't. I think this is a fun weapon, and I honestly wish I used it more. It's a very satisfying attack chain. I can't really describe it, and I can't really do it justice because I'm not hitting any enemies right now, but the way you just pound, it feels so powerful. Like, look at the effects on the ground. You just leave nothing alive. It just feels powerful to use, and I really like that. Now, this one's going to be a little bit scuffed, but for number 4, I'm going to give it to the default halberd. Now, unfortunately, I had to sacrifice that weapon in order to get Life Hunt Scythe. So instead, I'm just going to have some B-roll of me using it, either on some boss fights or some overworld mobs that I'll throw up on screen now. Sorry, I literally just don't even have the weapon anymore. What makes this weapon special to me is the thrusting attack chain. It is probably my pick for best new player weapon because it is diverse, because it still has slash options, but it mainly does thrust, which not only is just a solid type of damage, but it's also very convenient for Dark Souls 1 in specific, just because there's a lot of tight hallways and corridors and sewers and all these other grimy areas where there's walls next to you, where you're going to be hitting your weapon off of walls. That just can't happen here, since it is a straightforward poke. The only time you're going to be hitting a wall is if it's like through an enemy. So that's it. Other than that, it's one of the first ones you can pick up. You can get it without killing any bosses as long as you have the master key. And even if you don't, you just have to kill, what, Taurus Demon, and then it's yours. It's right before Gargoyles, so it very, very early on. I got it within like 15 minutes of starting the game. Just solid weapon. I think that's the best word to describe it, is just solid. And I think its unique moveset of those thrusts is enough to get it this high, because there are weapons above this that have the more traditional overhead then slash, overhead then slash. So that kind of replaces the weapons below this, but this one actually has something to stand out over the scythe and the Titanite catch pole. Like it's got this like special sauce to it that other weapons just don't have. Yeah, that is completely my bad for forgetting to like pick up another one for the sake of a showcase, but you should have some good footage playing, hopefully. So yeah, that's my number 4 pick. All right, we're getting close. This top 3 is kind of stacked, but for number 3, we're going to go ahead and get Giant's Halberd. This bad boy is kind of just your diet Black Knight halberd, but I like it anyway. And it does have a few things that I actually would probably put above Black Knight. There's not a luck dependency on this weapon, so you can either get it from a giant, or you can just buy it in that same area. In either way, you're getting it sooner than you would like Life Hunt Scythe, so there's that. I think it looks amazing, and it actually does split damage with lightning. This is one of those weapons where you don't really want to level its scaling stats at all, because it's a DD scaling and it's terrible, but I think it's pretty solid. There's much worse things you can be infused with than lightning, especially when infusing weapons like you would in the future games really sucks because it destroys your ability to scale. This weapon was built around not scaling in the first place, so you just don't have that issue. You just get really good damage, actually. Even if they resist lightning, it's still going to be doing chunky damage. The lightning does feel like a bonus rather than a crutch. And what I think could put it above Black Knight Halberd in some cases is its heavy attack being a thrust. It's beautiful. I love thrust attacks on heavy attacks. It's my favorite. If you've seen any of my heavy sword type videos, you know I love the poke attacks. I am all for it. Put a poke on any weapon. Any weapon needs a poke. That diversity in moveset is amazing. So not only do you have the overhead slash and the side slash, you also have a poke, letting you get all 3 of the big moves in one weapon. And if you still want a more surrounding slash, I mean, there's always the jump slash, so there's that. So while you don't really get the spin to win, you don't really need it with this weapon. That's just kind of what the jump slash and like the rolling attack is for. And again, the overhead swing is good for Kalameet or any boss that is above you or something, even like Asylum Demon or Stray Demon or Firesage, you know, where they have a big gap between their legs. A lot of thrust weapons will just miss and go in between their legs. This doesn't have to worry about it because it will just hit their belly instead. But with how big this weapon is, there are little things as satisfying as getting an actual heavy attack to just smack through an enemy. You can just one-shot some like Silver Knights or Black Knights even. I had a lot more fun with this weapon than I thought I would. I would be down to do like a whole giant build with like the full giant set at some point. It really is that fun. But just objectively, it is worse than the next 2, which you could already guess what they are. Now, I did have a little back and forth with where each of these 2 weapons would be placed, but I think I am gonna take the more popular opinion here after some actual really hard debate with even some meta factors that I would go through. And I would put number 2 as the Great Scythe. This weapon is very, 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 very good. one of the best even. It has great range, definitely better than Life Hunt Scythe in that regard. A very consistent down poke kind of attack chain like the Lucerne was, but opposed from doing all of thrust damage that the Lucerne does, this one will be doing slash with its pokes, which definitely is unique. It has bleed buildup and a pretty solid one at that, being 300, which I believe is what the Bandit's Knife is. Just running R1ing people will just decimate. Like, a lot of mobs just get one-shot by that, which is insane for just a running R1. I was in the DLC fighting just those random Abyss enemies, and just doing this, I could kill like 2 of them at once. Just the little goober dudes that like Artorias throws at you, like those guys. You can just sweep through them. Its spin is crazy. It's just probably the best mob room clearing weapon with its wide slashes, but also is great for bosses because of its R1 chain of that overhead slash. And again, you don't have to worry about killing yourself with it with blood loss. You get to just spam. So although on paper it does look a little bit worse than Life Hunt Scythe, it far surpasses it with the power of spam. A lot of bosses in this game have a ton of downtime, especially in the base game with like the like Asylum, Demon Firesage, like that kind of enemy, that kind of demon. You can just run to their butt and then just do this like 4 times. And then they'll jump up in the air, you walk back around them, and then do it again. And you can just shred their HP in like 3 cycles, maybe, if not 2. Great for room clearing, great for bosses, great for bleed buildup, great for range, great for diversity. It's got basically everything. And what it is the best at is it has the best scaling one of these weapons will get with standard infusion, that is. Some of them might have better, like, I don't know, holy infusion or whatnot, but in terms of standard leveling, this is an A tier weapon, or an A scaling weapon, rather. Extremely solid. Definitely worth using. If you've never used it, you should. It is very fun. It's not just powerful. I do genuinely believe it is a good weapon. The R2 as well, where you run forward and slash, helps, I believe, a lot of new players that have trouble with their player placement. Again, not to bring it up, but I have seen from some new players, specifically my roommates, had some issue with that playing Elden Ring, where they were just kind of whiffing a lot of attacks because they weren't close enough yet. I think they were expecting your character to kind of step forward like this does when you attack. And again, no shade to my roommates. I love you guys. It's just get good, I guess. Great for themed builds as well. Like, it's a scythe. It's just inherently cool. Like, what are you doing? And what should be a surprise to very few people, we are going to put Black Knight Halberd. Oh boy, this weapon looks amazing. I mean, really, like every aspect, the handle, like the actual blade itself, the design on it, it just looks incredible. It performs even better. It has the very standard, you know, good and true up, slash, and it's got what I believe to be a unique heavy attack as well. With that, which I didn't even use that much, but I can already tell you would just obliterate anything you use it on. I think the only con for this weapon I would give it is its strength requirement is really high, so you don't really have a good opportunity to one-hand it, and you do need to level strength a little bit more, which is something you usually don't do with this kind of weapon. This is another one of those where you shouldn't bother leveling anyway. I'm at a max level on mine, and it's on a DE scaling, so yeah, don't even bother leveling strength or dex. Just get it to the minimum that you can have it on, and then just take it from there. Yeah, 367 base damage is just, it's so fucked. This thing has an ability that we didn't even use in our run, where it does bonus damage to demon enemies, which there are a lot of in this game. Like, even just on the top of my head, there's like the Asylum Demon, Taurus Demon, Capra Demon, Quelaag might count, the Stray Demon, Ceaseless Discharge, if you're somehow having trouble with that, the Firesage, Centipede, Bed of Chaos, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just good on all of those enemies and mobs that would count towards that. Since, you know, like, Taurus Demon turns into, like, a regular mob later on in the game. Basically, all of Lost Izalith just melts to this thing. You will be, like, 4-shotting bosses with it, I kid you not. I was not even at, like, optimum strength out here using it against the Sanctuary Guardian. I was out here just getting hit left and right just because I did not care. Because you don't really have to care with this weapon. You just kind of hit R1 and things just dissolve. It's just... man. It's as good as everyone says it is. And I think what is the best, and might be worst part, is the kind of luck factor you are given with this. There is a chance you just can't get this weapon in base game, which sucks. I know for a long time speedrunners would just start the game, book it to that Black Knight in the forest area, and then, you know, take the chance, and if they didn't get the weapon, they would just literally restart the run. Like, it's that good that like 1 in 5 runs get to proceed, because it's all dependent on this. You have 2 chances to get it in base game, and if you don't, you have to wait until you are literally right there outside of this door for the enemy to grind off of, which does suck. But on the flip side, if you do get this weapon early on like that, you can get this with 0 bosses, as I have done before. I've gotten that lucky when I was off getting Grasscrest Shield, where I'll start a run, go for the shield because it's my go-to, and then just accidentally get this weapon because I parry kill that Black Knight. And I have actually one-shot Taurus Demon with this weapon before. It was at like a +1 or a +2. You will literally one-shot bosses with this thing with no buffs, because you can't like infuse this weapon or anything, or put like you can't put like pine resin on it or anything, and it still one-shots. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it is for that reason that I would put this at number 1. Yeah, I think with that said, we should go ahead and embrace the dark. So let's step on out and check on our new subjects to rule over.
My lord, bless thy safe return. Let Cath and Frampt serve your highness. We are here to serve your highness. Let true dark be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.
Alrighty, that's gonna be it from me, everyone. Thank you for watching this far into this video. I make very long videos, so that means a lot if you are still here at the end. That's crazy. I'm gonna keep this a little more brief this time since my voice is dying again. Really just thank you. I mean, this is gonna be my 6th upload, and I'm not slowing down at all. I keep climbing with support, with subscribers, with views, with comments. I really get nothing but the best from you guys, and I'm so appreciative of that, and I haven't lost sight of that. But that being said, I do think I want to mix up what I make for the future. I'm definitely not going to stop this series or anything. I just kind of want to get some other things in between these, because it does kind of wear me out just going back to back to back to back to back with these things, especially jumping from the different games. Jumping from Dark Souls 1 to 3 to Elden Ring to 1 to 3 to Elden Ring. It's very, it makes my head spin a little bit, but I would really love to see what you guys would want other than what I'm already doing, and just other weapon classes that you think I should cover. I don't know how much more I'm going to do with Dark Souls 1 specifically, since that game is not my most knowledgeable, and it does tend to piss me off a little bit, as you can see, with some of the more dated aspects of it. But I really do love this game. It's just the more factual and more in-depth I try to play it, the more it kind of crumbles for me. So I don't know how much I want to run this game, because it kind of takes the fun out of it for me, when it really doesn't do that for stuff like Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3. Let me know what all you'd like to see. If you haven't made it this far, I hope that you can just feel my vibes to have a good day or a good night. If you fall asleep to this, have good dreams, and take care, everybody. Thank you.